Castlevania, that franchise that centers around Dracula and vampires and gothic themes. And now it needs to kind of put that to the side because there are more important issues to be discussed on this franchise, like slavery and fighting the patriarchy. Because of course. So I reacted to this during the Netflix drop last week. Not gonna lie, that first bit they showed, which by the way, they showed way too much of this freaking anime. It was like an hour and a half's worth that we watched. That's why my stream got taken down off YouTube. But I digress. I will say the first bit that I saw was like, hey, this might actually be cool. Well, then it started to be one thing after another. And it's like, oh, actually, wait a minute. This is starting to look incredibly stupid. Just completely losing the point and the focus of why people care about Castlevania. Because, Netflix has to Netflix it up. As they do. So here we have from Bounding into Comics, because of course this is what we're going to hear with the criticisms. This is what we're going to hear, the feedback about criticisms. It's not, oh, maybe we should actually, try to make the fans happy. No, we're going to hear this instead. Forbes writer Paul Tassi accuses Castlevania Nocturne criticism of being rooted in racism or sexism. Because, of course, that's always the go-to. It can't be, oh, this actually is not recognizable as Castlevania. This is going against everything that made Castlevania. Maybe that might have something to do with it. No, of course not. It has to be racism and sexism, right? All right, so here we have, it says, a standalone spin-off from Netflix's core Castlevania series, Castlevania Nocturne touts itself as an adaptation of the 1994 Konami-produced video game Castlevania Rondo of Blood, and to a lesser extent, the seminal Castlevania Symphony of the Night. However, in typical Western adaptation fashion, Nocturne deviates heavily from its source material, from race swapping Annette to giving Richter's adventure a slight hint of racial strife, to having the blue-clad hero embarrassingly finish off Ulrich himself, also race swapped, with an exchange of edgy dialogue that would make even Joss Whedon cringe. Nocturne takes more creative liberties with the Belmont legend than any of the previous seasons. Okay, so this is where it's just, in other words, it's just not even recognizable. Fans of things can't have nice things once Netflix touches them, for the most part. So here we have a 100% really. And then the audience score is sitting at a 46%. Just what I watched was painfully boring. Okay. So just aside from the fact that this is just not in theme with Castlevania, it was boring. It was just a bunch of dialogue and just bore fest. Okay. So there were just no redeeming qualities that I saw here. All right. So, and in another unsurprising aspect of Nocturne's existence, Netflix's running riot over Konami's original games has led to a polarization of opinions between critics and fans. Per Rotten Tomatoes, this series currently holds a 100% fresh rating across 14 verified critic reviews, which I haven't made a video about this kind of stuff with Rotten Tomatoes. We already know that some of these critics are paid off for certain things. I would not put it past Netflix to do this. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't, but I would not be surprised. I think a lot of it too is journalists. They love to virtue signal more than anybody. So with something like this, yeah, it's right up their alley. But that's the thing about these journalists will sell their credibility for $50. It's absolutely retarded. I don't understand it. So anyway, let's continue. All right. So though it should be noted that this number was generated by the site's own metric of Was the review positive rather than looking at individual review scores? Okay, that makes it even more inaccurate. As while the majority of professional critics liked Nocturne, they did not give it a perfect score, but it's giving the illusion of that. This is why you just can't trust outlets like Rotten Tomatoes and things of that nature anymore, because they're bought out. They care more. This is the thing, is people who are working at these companies, even in the gaming industry at large now, are a lot of activists as opposed to people actually passionate about these materials. So we're not getting accurate data here. We're not getting accurate reviews or anything like that. Meanwhile, over 500 audience members have left the series with a 46% rotten rating, with many specifically criticizing how Nocturne both disregarded the game's continuity in favor of a politically charged plot and sidelined fan favorite vampire hunter Richter Belmont in favor of Annette and her mission of abolishing slavery. Dude, why is, and I keep seeing this like on Twitter and just in general, a lot of Black people are like, why is everything in media with a Black lead, why is it almost always centered around slavery? Why can't they have cool stories anymore? You know, and people want to call racist, blah, blah, blah. Look at how the Blade movies did, right? People like Blade. Wesley Snipes, a legend. People like that stuff. Okay, this is just a shoehorned slavery subplot that just should not even exist in the first place, and that has nothing to do with the Castlevania universe. Okay, you're killing the vibe, man. You're killing the vibe right before it's October. This is when everybody especially is going to want to see just cool, gruesome vampires, gothic stuff. I mean, we've got Halloween coming up. But no, instead, let's just get lectured on slavery. All right. So yet, while these disappointed fans have been very clear about just why they feel Nocturne misses the mark, the aforementioned Tassi has come to convince himself that those who strongly dislike the series are nothing more but tired bigots. Because of course you have to like everything, consume all the things, everything that they spoon feed you, all these activists who don't know crap about anything but their virtue signaling activism. You have to just love everything that they throw at you, or you're a bigot. Of course, at this point, it's just like, call me a bigot. I don't care about any of this kind of stuff. Just embrace the label bigot, because like these type of people, words affect them, words hurt them. Don't let that happen to you and you become immortal. You know, they can't get to you, man. All right. So of user reviews, Tassi took issue with audience's rejection of the series, asserting, having watched nearly all of the series now, I cannot agree with the bad writing, bad characters complaints at all that you see in the user reviews, but instead a lot of focus is put on what else? Its prevalence of Black characters and other characters of color, altering a few origin stories to make that work. There's a through line of oppression and the horrors of slavery in the plot. And outside of that, a focus on gay characters as well. Because of course, dude, I'm so checked out of this. When I just saw just the beginning and it showed Richter watch his mom die and that, I was like, okay, I might actually watch this. I watched the first season of Castlevania, liked it well enough, but I don't know, wasn't perfect, but I still, liked it well enough. But seeing all this kind of stuff, no, I'm completely checked out. Not only is it's just lazy, it's lazy writing as well. It's dull. You got like this guy here who, what I saw from the Netflix drop that they did not need a whole presentation and show for. It was just basically the Castlevania show. This kid here, They throw him into the story and then instantly kill him off in a matter of no time. So you don't even care when he dies. Here we have Annette just crying and nobody cares. The only interaction we've really had with this character is just a little bit of singing, some terrible singing at that, and then he dies and it's like, okay, don't care. Don't really know anything about this character. Don't care. And now here's the plot twist. He's gonna be the bad guy now. Okay. Ooh, shocker. All right. So then he continues to say, I cannot tell you how exhausted I am of user reviews for projects like this. Tassie later stated, this keeps happening over and over, where some established IP includes some character of color or different orientations and the knives come out. It's almost like people like accurate stories. You know, it's almost like people who are fans of things want to see it accurately portrayed. Wow. That's insanity. How dare they? I'm just tired of this, he then opined. I think user reviews can be interesting when we see splits from critics that are not rooted in racism or sexism. But Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic have got to get a handle on this. I know there's a side that says it's critic reviews that are useless, but user reviews, he ultimately concluded his grievance. These systems have never been worse. Okay, yeah, just take out the user reviews and be forced to listen to what critics have to say or what the journalists have to say. You know, we need someone like Paul here to tell us, you know, not normal people who are actually fans of the source material. Can't have that. This is the thing, is people who so flippantly say stuff like this, they don't care. I mean, it's a journalist. We already know who hates. Think about video games in general. Who hates video games more than journalists? Nobody. They freaking hate them. Obviously not every journalist, but this has been a pretty common pattern for a while now. They want video games to be easier. They want video games to be shorter. They don't like a challenge. They complain all the time about games being video games. All they care about is just inserting a gay character or fulfilling their ship or looking at pretty cutscenes. There's not so much focus anymore on actual gameplay. And so you see this when it comes to this, like, okay, video game turned TV show or anime or whatever you want to call it. They don't care about the source material. They don't care about Castlevania. They don't care about the fans of Castlevania. They just want, okay, let's just show me my activism. Give me something to say I like, just that is virtuous so I can look good to my peers. That's just what it is. Yeah. I don't know, man. But we've seen this, the Tomb Raider community, man. The Tomb Raider community has been bombarded with this. You see a ton of activists who have waltzed in and care more about saying this is oppressive for some reason, because she's wearing shorts. They care more about saying, oh, this is oppressive. Oh, help the women. You can't have a beautiful main character. Make her basic. Make her ordinary. Make her relatable. This sort of thing. So this is just where we're at. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to read your Bible today. And if you want me to read the Bible to you, check out my Bible channel, Bible Time with Melanie Mack. Thanks again. I'll catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.